Let's keep this on the play. Yeah, I'm playing Dressed Down in the sideboard of Murktide. Just a sideboard card against Hammer. And Elementals. To try to beat the Sanctifier, which we lost to. I think it's nice rules you can't advertise purchase options outside of App Store, so it's really an Apple issue. Yeah, I mean, it is an Apple issue. I don't know if what I was saying came across different, but I don't know. It's shitty. You can post a link with your bot that allows mobile users to click subscribe. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about doing that until someone just suggested it earlier. We could do that. If a mod wants to like set up that command, they can do it now, or I could do it later. Sorry, Blitz, thank you for your tier 1. Appreciate you, buddy. It's really nice of you. And it's really nice of me to draw land and hit to connect with Ragavan. Oh yeah, Epic is suing Apple over the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to open it in your like desktop mode on mobile. I don't know. It's all a bit silly, huh? I need a creature or sorcery to get Delirium. Okay, now I guess I'm just gonna go... I guess I'll bolt them first. Just get really aggressive. But I can now... If they have a counterspell, I can just counterspell back. Yeah, let's keep that on top. Seems good. So if they're going to go for the verdict, the bolt's going to be able to create lethal. Sorry, Shark. Gotta put you down. Oh, and we get Delirium. Nice. A little bit of added gravy. It's actually just lethal, right? It's 11? Didn't really need it, but we have it. We get to conceal that we're playing lightning bolts from our opponent here. Oh. Okay, not game over. They pitched Supreme Verdict. Wow, Wizards is literally ruining Modern with all these 0 mana spells, huh? So they might have another Verdict. Let's see what we hit here. Draw 2. I think we just graveyard that. Okay, let's just keep drawing this well, huh? Let's just keep drawing this well. I'm not playing around Mindbreak Trap here. I'm not doing it. What a game, man. I feel like they should have maybe... Oh, I guess they were trying to verdict me. That's why they were in Solitude earlier. Now let's just keep drawing that well. So I think I want to do something like 2 heat, 2 bolts, 4 storm. Haven't tested the Otherworld Breach Grinding Station deck at all. No, but the deck's also been around and it's also never been good. It's like, it doesn't kill usually until turn 4, and so if you're playing against aggro decks, if you're on the draw, your like Goldfish is not going to be fast enough. You get interacted by creature removal, discard spells, graveyard hate, artifact hate, counter spells, or you're cold to all of these things. And like usually a big strength of combo decks is you get to be somewhat resilient to some amount of interaction, but the breach deck really just gets hit by everything. And it's really hard to compensate for that. Think you went EE for the rip? I think I'll just counter the rip with Spell Pierce. It's like when Rest in Peace comes down, it's like it's going to be hugely devastating. No matter if it ever resolves, it's a huge swing, and to bring in like a 4 mana answer to it. I don't even feel like that's going to be winning you most games. I think you're going to try to counter it, or hope they don't draw it, or just win through it with like Ragavan. But trying to blow it up with explosives is pretty loose, I think. The 103, thank you for your 5 months. Appreciate you, buddy. I can't spell pierce that. What a ripoff. I can keep a Murktide. I mean, graveyarding it does like get delirium pretty quick, maybe. But if they kill this with like ending, then I'll be pretty happy to have kept this. I think I'm fine spell piercing. Would you have used spell pierce if I could have on Wall of Omens? No, probably not. The sideboard, the Alpine Moon just don't overlap a bit. Yeah, but like Hammer is like a really bad matchup, game 1. So like I want to have a bucket of sideboard cards for them. And then it's also like the dress down also like they're your sideboard card against elementals to some extent. So in that way, like they don't overlap. And then like the third Alpine, like I wouldn't be playing the third Alpine Moon if it weren't for like the uptick in Tron. So it's like, you know, if you're cold with a Hammer and then Tron's on the rise, it makes sense to play a lot of Alpine Moons, I think. I thought I graveyarded you. Kerbro's 20 months. Awesome, dude. Blue red on my sub day. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. Sad no Delvers though, huh? Alright, I think I'm passing. I board an E a lot. Think about bringing 1 main in Grixis. Think that's okay. I mean, if we're talking about the Grixis dress down deck, that deck is all about mana efficiency. That's like the only thing that matters is mana efficiency. And Explosives is not a super mana efficient spell. It also like when Tron and blue-white control are on the uptick, I'm not really a big fan of wanting to like just move one of those to the main. Red Winter, 13 months. Appreciate ya. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Alright, now we can go for a Murktide with Counterspell up. Could be better to wait. I feel like this is a good window. I feel like this is a fine window. Did you ever write a sideboard guide for Just Dance Shadow? Yeah, I did on Channel Fireball for CFB Pro. Scry 2? Okay, deal. Was it more mana efficient to fight over Darcy? No. If you fight over Darcy there and you leave them with 5 untapped mana, you tap out a counterspell, they just get to resolve any planeswalker. You just lose the game. Man, they killed their Wall of Omens. Savage. You're the only reason I slipped a CP Pro. Thanks. Make sure you tell them that. People are playing Cryptic Command again. I feel like if I get my Archmage's Charm Cryptic Vid, I'm going to lose, but I don't know. I never played that scared of Cryptic Command on Charm before. Okay, yeah, it's fine to let it eat Counterspell. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess Murktide's only going to be a 5/5, but that's big enough to get it out of Colonnade range. We have a Flusterstorm on top. It's probably not a card I want to draw at this point in the game. Oh, I should have left a land. Oops. What's my clan? I'm one of the nameless clans. I'm one of the fodder ninja that dies in the ninja war. They really shouldn't have been there, because they, right? You know, like what are these like random like, you know, Guineans and Shunins doing in the war? Really, nothing. Just dying. Dude, if I kept the Flusterstorm... Okay, never mind. Never keep Flusterstorm there, obviously. Alright, well, at least I guess it wants to be here. So my opponent's last card just has to be a land. It could be Typhoon, I guess, too. Could be Verdict, maybe. They probably would have cast it. Is this meta Wall of Denial friendly? I don't think so. I'm not sure that any meta is. Another weekend where I can't find the secret TikTok, where I promise to keep looking. Okay, I promise to at some point post a second post to the account to give people a chance to find it. I wanted to yesterday, but I ended up just like grinding a lot of MTGO and watching some movies. I watched. I'd never seen the Machinist, the Christian Bale movie where he's real skinny. I'd never seen it before. I liked it, and then I also watched some like suspense movie. Let's see. Yeah, let's just try to kill him next turn. Can't remember what it was called even. It wasn't very good. It was fine. It was like, I don't know. It was just like next up. And then, did I do anything else yesterday? Not really. Gotta have some time off, right? Yeah, the metagame is definitely fluctuating a lot, which makes deck selection and deck building really difficult, but this is also like usually the environments where I thrive. Colder 1 year, happy anniversary, dude. Team Wreck Murktide. I don't think Murktide goes well on Reclamation. Murktide's got to be like the top of your curve, really, for it to be good. Breeding Pool tapped is usually Team of Rhinos. A changing water meta is a healthy water meta. I absolutely agree, yeah. I could have dashed there, but I just don't want to keep sinking the mana into Ragavan, especially when I don't have any more lands in my hand. I do have 4 Flusterstorm in my sideboard now. I'm just not messing around in this matchup anymore. If my opponent Bone Crusher Giants, I guess I'll kill my Ragavan in response. Do you play FNM from time to time? Not really, no. I spend too much time on the stream to like also want to dedicate 5 hours of my week for FNM, unfortunately. Dress Down's on the side for Elementals and Hammer Time and other creature decks, but mostly those two. Is 4 Charm for a Counterspell the way to go to Murktide? I think it is at the moment with the uptick in Tron and Control decks. I also think it has been for a while, but 4 Archmage Charm for sure, just because of how hard the Elementals matchup is, in my opinion. So if my opponent plays Footfalls, obviously we just have to Counterspell and then lose. If they play Petty Theft, then, or sorry, Brazen Borrower, we probably let it resolve, then kill it on instep and then lose. I mean, if this works and then they go like Shardless Agent, we can steal a Rhino, and if their hand's kind of weak, we could get there. But just missing land drops in this matchup is death. I'm not missing any positive interaction in your deck of Dress Down, right? It's not. Yeah. In this deck, it's just an answer, and I said this morning. You know, Dress Down is just a good modern card. It's just a good modern card. You should be looking to play it in your blue sideboards if you feel like you need to compensate for matchups where Dress Down is good. Don't overthink it too much. It just like really has proven itself to be a good card in this format. Okay, so in this matchup, I have been kind of struggling a little bit at how to sideboard. I think it's something close to this. I think I want to leave it like 3 answers for their creatures, because I feel like you can overcompensate for their Rhinos and just lose to Bone Crusher, Petty Theft. I think we'll cut the 4th iteration. We played Cascade on stream. Yeah, I mean, I was one of the first pioneers of the Rhinos deck. Like, I posted the list like immediately, and was one of like the first decks we were streaming with. Like, I feel like I got like the first the first version was like, you know, maybe even popularized by me. You could say, you could maybe say that. But I like the newer versions more with Fury and Prismatic Ending. I messed around with the Team or Murktide list that Mingu's been playing. I haven't. I think that he's playing too many 2-drops. I think Goyf and Murktide is like they have a little bit of tension together, of course, and then I think that's just in general too many 2-drops. I think we can keep this on the play. I don't think we could keep this on the draw. You ever cut Bauble from the main board? Sometimes you can trim one. I don't do very often though. How bad is it to play both Voidwalker and Drown in the main deck? There's a lot of tension there, yeah. Will I play at least one league with the Sultan Gifts deck? I want to, yeah. I'll definitely do it if I get a trophy. But I don't think we're gonna trophy if I play that deck, so I would prefer to wait on it, maybe, till we catch a little bit more up. I think Jun Just Shadow is still a viable choice for the metagame. Doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, the list is in the Stream Decker. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with it. Cognac 14 months. What matchups do I dress down? Elementals and Hammer Time are the main two. But it comes in against like Titan. It comes in against most creature decks. Okay, that's a great draw. Or a lot of creature decks, I should say. I feel like my opponent's probably going to dispute this. I probably should have fetched first. Okay, now I don't need to fetch. Alright, oh no! Sorry, I didn't mean to click OK. I meant to, play my explosives, try to get Delirium. Is the 2-player queue worth playing? I mean, what is worth to me is probably not worth to you. I don't know. 2-player queues may be fine for playtesting some decks. Because, you know, when you play in the free-to-play queues, there's no stakes at all, which means that people will, like, really often just, like, rage quit and leave without finishing the match. Which, of course, stinks, but, like, with no stakes keeping players there, there's no incentive for them to stay. Alright, let's get a couple more looks at Delirium here. I hope my opponent doesn't force this, but if they do and we get Delirium, then we're still kind of doing fine. I need a creature or a artifact. I guess the explosives itself gives Delirium, so we are insulated from Violent Outburst here. I can also just crack the explosives and just try to kill them next turn. It's probably not good. Okay, Violent Outburst is absolutely not correct here. If Violent Outburst, they just take 4 extra damage for no reason. This is a huge mistake from my opponent. Absolutely a mistake. They should have done an end of turn if they were going to do that. What is the place of the 2-player queue? If you go to like the constructed tab for Modern, you can find it. How are they playing Archmage's Charm? They're not. That's my Archmage's Charm. Scott, 22 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Hope you're having a good day today. Would it be possible to have a record tracker visible in the CFB videos? I could do that, yeah. Yeah, I could maybe put that up there. I don't see why not. Do I enjoy playing limited? I do, yeah. I do. I at one point I considered myself primarily a limited player after Theros came out. From like Theros to the beginning of cons, I was mostly a limited player, and I really liked it then. And I still really do like it. And even like back in my beginning of my stream eras, like I would like learn every limited format still off stream, just for the fun of it. But sadly, I just spend too much time on modern at the moment to like want to play limited in my free time. It's just a bit too much, you know. I have a channeler on top. I'm going to shuffle. I want to try to find an answer to Rhinos here. I mean, Murktide can be good in this matchup. The second one's going to be a little bit risky. I guess we have one Thought Scour right now. Okay, do they not have an answer to the Ragavan? Oh no, not like this, dude. Not like this. They do have Dead Gone, or they just don't want me to hit their Triome. Yeah, they don't want me to hit their Triome. So we can play a 5/5 Murktide Regent. It's probably fine. After the trophy race, new set drops, would we be down for a limited stream? No. I just need to be focused on modern. That's like what my stream is for the time being. Nobody's going to watch me play limited. Or when I say nobody, I mean I would get half the usual viewership. And, you know, I am still interested in grinding and growing the channel as much as I can. I think it's like especially important for me right now with, you know, how relatively recent my... Wait, did they not? They didn't. Oh, no, opponent. Oh, no. They clicked no on accident. I feel so bad. With my recent ascension to 1K Andy, you know, I do think I have to keep grinding really hard to, you know, keep the new people who have come here. Historic seems really fun. Zaz, you can look at the trophy count on the left side of the screen. We've got a record here. I'm at 28, Prince is at 30, and then Canister's in third place at 22. Shatterskull smashing. This could be Rhinos again. Sometimes they play this as extra red cards to pitch to Fury. I'm excited for the return to Innistrad. Somewhat. I honestly feel like Shadows over... I like the first Innistrad, of course. First Innistrad was so good. But Shadows was, I think, not very well done, where it kind of had this exact same problem that the... Oh, it's Belcher. We could die right here. It had the exact same problem that the Zendikar set had, right? Return to Zendikar, where everybody loves Zendikar. Zendikar was so cool. And then they come back, and then it's like... Instead of having the cool Zendikar flavor, it's just all about the Eldrazi. And they did the exact... And then they had Shadows over Innistrad, and it was just all about the Eldrazi, too. Okay, I don't think I can tap out a Counterspell here, as much as I'd love a free card. You know, like, it was then, again, immediately all about the Eldrazi for the second set in a row. Which I feel like was just such a mistake. It was just such a mistake. Okay, so it's honestly like incredibly likely that my opponent messes up with Recross the Paths because I have Ragavan in play. It's incredibly likely. It's just a nightmare for them to stack their deck with Ragavan in play. Okay, but we also have like... We can also just not attack with Ragavan, right? We can just not attack with Ragavan. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare for my opponent. With which deck did I get the last trophies? I think it was with this deck. I got a trophy on Saturday with this deck, and I was playing a bunch of like red black rock yesterday, a lot of different brews yesterday too. I lost playing for 5-0 3 times yesterday. I've been my like record for converting in these 4-0 matches has been abysmal lately. I think in like the last like 15, I'm probably like 5-10 or something like that. Yeah, I can also just draw Scour. Still counter, they'll stack counterspells. Well, they'll stack counterspells on the top of their deck. No, you don't counter Recross the Paths here. I basically never counter it. It's not like they get to draw 7 counterspells, they're just on the top. And the Ragavan really messes with them stacking the deck. It's not like I have more counterspells in my hand, too. So they have America's Call on top, Graveyard the Unholy Heat. So they put the America's Call on the top of their library. So I'm just not attacking. They'll Reforge? No, they won't. They put America's Call on top. They have Reforge underneath it. I'll just attack next turn. If they Reforge, like, just counter the Reforge too, right? Just counter the Reforge. They can't put, yeah, they can't put both on top at the same time. Alright, I don't care about this. Chat, why would you ever counter anything? Come on. Imagine countering things. Couldn't be me. So now I get to exile Reforge the Soul, I assume. What about Jun Sagavan? It's one of the last challenge. I like the deck. I like the deck. It's very similar to Giglio's list. Just with discard spells. Is 5-0 match always versus a 4-0 opponent? No, it's not. It's usually, it's against an opponent who has a good record, but it's not always against a 4-0. Yeah, I have another Ragavan. Man, I'm just never countering anything. I think I want to save the bolts for Channeler. I guess I could cast them because of Murktide. Dude, imagine ever countering a spell. And Ragavan is so good against Recross the Paths. It seems a bit silly. Skulkers, thank you for your subscription, buddy. Appreciate ya. Alright, and now I get to bring in 4 Flusterstorms. Seems pretty good. So I'll bring in the Rejection and the Explosives since these bolts aren't really good. I literally only Ragavan. I didn't cast Counterspell that game. It was just Ragavan. That was the only thing I did that game. I mean, this is gonna be like one of our best matchups in the format, right? Even without Force of Negation, this matchup seems good. This hand seems a little slow. It's going to mulligan. It's got a hand's got a monkey. I guess I probably should have kept the island, right? Because they might have left Blood Moon in. Although probably not, right? Not sure. They can have a turn 2 kill. They can sometimes kill on turn 2. They go Ritual, Ironcrag Feet, Belcher. Why not Counterspell? I was mostly joking, but it was just like, in that specific game, there was nothing my opponent played that was worth countering. Even though chat like wanted me to counter every single spell they cast. There's just like nothing worth countering there. Okay, so I can play 2 Channelers this turn and go Shields down. I think that's fine. I think that it's like pretty difficult for my opponent to kill on turn 3. I don't know, this could be just, that's maybe just not good. They just need untapped land, Ritual, Belcher. It's also like hard to just give them all the time in the world, you know? How can you stack your deck if you never know if Ragavan's gonna exile your top card? Yeah, I know. I mean, Recross is really bad against Ragavan. Mind if it's in a deck tech request between rounds? What's the price? It's $10 for 2 gifted subs. You can do it in rounds too. That's fine. I'm not bothered. That's 9 months. Appreciate you. Why no? Good question. Good question. Land will be good. Alright, that's land. That's good. Ultra's really come back a little bit, yeah. I mean, Sodek's playing it, so it's back, I guess. I think that's how it usually goes. Is Sodek playing these decks? If so, these decks are back. I could get got by Empty. Well, I mean, no point in countering that. Guess we did. Drax, thank you for your gifting 2 subs for the deck tech. Alright, game 3. Brutal. It's fine, we're on the play for game 3. Ooh, Mori. I think that Cookbook is too good in this deck to not play Cookbook. Also, what's your black card count like? Let's see. Seems barely fine, but like another thing is that Grist is not I don't really like this hand. It's very, very slow. Okay, this hand's a lot better. Let me just Ragavan on the play. It's gotta be great here. They have to have exactly the untapped red land plus Lightning Bolt to deal with it. I also feel like Grist is just like way too fair in this deck. Like just getting like it's so antithetical to your deck's game plan, where your deck is trying to. Oh, they have it and they waited. People play around Dash Ragavan a little too hard, I think. Fury, wow. But yeah, Grist does not seem like it's executing what your deck's game plan is at all. It just is a very slow card in a deck that's trying to be very explosive. I like to see I prefer the hollow one versions too. This version seems, in my opinion, just too slow compared to a lot of the other variants that you see. Okay. No! What the hell? Oh my gosh, that's such a tilter. And it untapped my Steam vents? What's happening? All over the place. Oh, what's happening with my interface? I guess I just have it selected. Yeah, I feel like you need to increase your speed with this deck and play the hollow one versions with like Cookbook, Burning Inquiry, Goblin Lore. These versions just I think are too slow. But if you like these versions, like the slower, grindier versions, I would probably cut the Grists. Don't worry too much about keeping Umori. Like, it seems like you're not. It seems like you lose it in like every sideboard game. Harpooner is kind of cool tech against Murktide, but it's probably not as good as just like the 1 mana. Wait, the audio changed? Oh, I don't know how I accidentally turned down my mic. Ugh. Everything's falling apart, and I guess it's all my fault, huh? But I also, of course, meant to cast a Channeler that turn and play Bauble. So they put a card on the bottom this time. I need to hit them. I need the mana here. I guess I should have. You're at 0 of the deck tech. Oh no! What a disaster. So now they have silence on top. I have 2 counterspells up. I feel like I'll be okay. Famous last words, maybe. Yeah, so just to briefly reiterate, I think your deck's a bit slow. I think I prefer the hollow one versions with Cookbook, Goblin Inquiry, Burning Inquiry, Goblin Lore, to a deck like this one. Archmage Charm to steal the treasure. Yeah, they might not have a white source if we did that. And then I also feel like Grist in general is very, very slow. Maybe it's a fine sideboard for grinding matchups, but I think that you want something that's going to increase your speed if you like this version a bit more. Cruel Harpooner is a cute answer to Murktide, but I think it would be better if you played just like the 1 mana opponent sacrifices a creature with flying, that card. Well, we're cold to okay, so I can counter this and not be cold to goblins. Or I can let this resolve and be very cold to Goblin Charbelcher. I don't think I can beat Charbelcher here. Because I just don't have another counterspell and I have to lose all my treasures. Yeah, so I think I have to do this, and we got lucky. Man, so lucky. No guttural response because Ironcrag Feet is the last spell that they cast. It also, again, feels really bad that I, like, just... I would have, like, definitely won this game if I had, not accidentally clicked through my turn. Because we just have lethal, but... They have anger? We lost the on-screen chat? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It somehow got dragged down. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So we're going to be a little short here. Pyretic Ritual doesn't do very much. We find land, Flusterstorm. Nope. So they have to have Ironcrag Feet Belcher to kill me. Don't lose to any other combination of cards. Okay, they don't have it. Okay, that's a very good matchup, but that, like, accidentally clicking to turn might have cost us. But we're 3-0, feeling good. Oh wait, and then hold on. Then I don't know how I messed everything up so badly. The channel fireball. What even happened? I just, like, actually scrambled the entire layout. Chat isn't happy because I missed lethal. Oh, Legend Roll Ragavan for Delirium. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right, then I guess I have no one to blame but myself, huh? Yeah, so hopefully we can just get Trophy 29 here so we can feel like we've got a little bit of breathing room to play, to have fun for one league before going back to grinding our teeth to dust. My dentist has been banging on my door every single day, begging me to quit the trophy race. Lair of the Hydra seems weird. We're going to have that much mana. So I don't know if you missed it, Dante, but with Urborg Cabal, the idea is that you can go gifts for Urborg Cabal Coffers alone, and you can get Castle, you can get Raven's Crime, or you can get Lair of the Hydra, and then Urborg Cabal Coffers powers it up. All right, well, take your 2 for 1 and get out of here, opponent. Oh, another good dress down matchup. I've been liking the Spell Pierce. I've been liking it. It's definitely a flex spot. I view the 4th Unholy Heat and these Spell Pierce to be like the 2 flex spots in this deck, and you can play these cards. You can play like some amount of Snapcasters too. Titania can be a fun deck. Yeah, I thought about Titania, but you can't persist it, which is a bit awkward, right? Man, infinite Young Wolves. Just 2. Unlimited Young Wolves. I can make a 5/5 Murktide here. It's probably fine. Get to keep up this Spell Pierce for Evolution, and they're like way more likely to go for Evolution with just a treasure up than they would be with all this open mana. Yeah, Ragavan's Natural Predator, Athena. Have ever won a challenge? No, there was one weekend last year, or 2 weekends in a row where I got second back-to-back weekends with the Bant Ephemerate control. Second 2 weekends in a row, but I've never won one. I've top 8'd a bunch, but not many recently. I top 8'd the Hunter Burton recently, though, which is a lot bigger than a challenge. Will I 5-0 to league? One day. Then I'll become actual Spike. Oof. The Yawgmoth deck had Yawgmoth? What's the idea? Did I play Cedric Phillips? No, I didn't. I sat next to Cedric like 2 rounds in a row, though. I didn't have really time to say hi. He didn't really seem like he wanted to chat with people. He had like headphones in, like basically every time I saw him. which is fine. I totally get it. Is Modern the most competitive queue in terms of trophies? It's the most popular format on Magic Online by a lot, so yes, I would say so. Like, there's just way more people playing the Modern than any other format. Our total savage of the Hunterbird? What does that mean? I'm pretty sure we counted this. Well, could maybe like tax their mana and like kill them, but seems better to just counter here. Yeah, I know Cedric was going for the leader on the cube, right? Cube trophy races seem fun because the seasons are so short too. So they get Hapatra here. I'm not dead to Messenger. Am I? Oh, they attack me for 4. Hold on. They attack me for 4. Okay, well they're punting by not attacking me first. Yeah, I think my opponent's just not familiar with the fact that their life total needs to be higher, right? Oh wait, hold on. I might be dead. I am dead? I obviously miscalculated here. They're down to 3. They sack the messenger. They go down to 2. They put me down to 3. They sack. No, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. They can't. Yeah, I'm not. No, they lose. Yeah. They can put me to 1. They're just dead. I was dead if they attacked first, but they didn't. They needed to attack with their young wolf first. GG. We take those. We've definitely had some paid actors this league, chat. We say you got to sometimes. I don't feel bad. Last night I was playing some black-red mid-range. I was playing against Jund, and I was just like, I was so ahead. And they like top decked like, it was like Liliana into like Bloodbraid Elf, and then I had them dead if they drew anything besides Bolt, and they drew the bolts. And it was game 3 for the 5-0 last night. It's real tough. Okay, Flusterstorm is better than Spell Pierce. I'm not sure that I'm going to play either. I do think I want to go down on Ragavans on the draw. I'm probably down for the first Flusterstorm. Could maybe see playing a second copy. Could say maybe I'll play some Ragavans on the play, but on the draw. Not that into it. Do you pay these people in free subs? Maybe I will at the end of this bet, huh? Is the argument to play cantrips other than Thought Scour? Well, obviously there is an argument, right? Because that's what like most people do is they play other cantrips besides Scour. I think it's wrong. Serum Visions is the worst card in the deck. Opt is the worst card in the deck if you play them. So I just kind of prefer to have no just like card I just don't really like to draw very often. Spell Pierce cannot counter Grist, no. It's a creature on the stack. Grist is such a weird card, dude. Shuffle away the canal, bolt the goblin. Well, I consider playing Consider the deck. I'll definitely consider it. Yeah. Consider is definitely going to be a card that I'm going to need to cast before I really feel like I will understand how good or bad I think it is. I think my initial evaluation is that it's going to be a very small upgrade to opt, and like and I feel like if you're not going to play opt in a deck, you probably don't want consider for the most part. There probably will be exceptions, but I just need to play with the card first. All right, my opponent has never actually read the card Veil of Summer before. I've got insider info. They are not familiar with the card Veil of Summer, so there's no need to play around it there. What are you bringing 3 Just Downs against? It's mostly for elementals and hammer time. It's also good against matchups like my opponents. It's good against Titan. It's good against a lot of decks. Opponent has Eldritch Evolution on top. I think might have some room in just get Murktide. Not sure what you would cut. You could trim on Fire Ice. You also could maybe like just not play. You could maybe consider over Thought Scour in that deck, but it's also like if you see an instant on top, like a lot of times you're gonna want to keep it. You know. What do you think of Stoneforge in the meta? Stoneforge is really good in the Hammer Time deck. I've of course been looking at other Stoneforge shells. I feel like the Bant like creature-based version I've been playing a little bit of. I think that version's still fine, but I'm not like really convinced that like Blue-White Stoneblade, Black-White Stoneblade, that these are good modern decks at the moment. I would have loved to get the Bauble trigger, but I think I'm gonna go for Murktide with Counterspell up. Just like, you know, pressuring their life. Oh, Dress Downs on top, awesome. Pressuring their life total as much as we can, I think, is important. Just like we saw last game, we were able to hit them with the Murktide, and then they didn't have enough life to combo. Can be Dredge be playable this Voidwalker meta? Well, Voidwalker was on the decline, but now it's back on the incline, so I kind of think you missed your window. So they can court for 1. I know that they have Evolution in their hand, so not really that keen to counter this. Everos, 19 months. Welcome back, buddy. Dude, I saw the end of your Knights of the Republic playthrough, but I missed, like, I rewatched the VOD when you were on the Leviathan. I really wanted to be there for that stream, but I couldn't. But that was a great content, dude. These two thoughts, yeah. Who does my emotes, and how do I pay them for a steal emote? So my friend Madison has done most of my emotes. She is, she's with child. I haven't been saying it for personal. I mean, I think it's fine. She's pregnant and so she's very busy at the moment, so she hasn't been able to do any emotes lately. So I had someone else do the animated hand sign emotes, the Clothless emotes. I like them. I have like a link to their stuff in a panel down below. So I think I'm gonna commission them for the steel emotes, but I'm just not sure yet. Tom, thank you for 7 months. Appreciate ya. Any suggestions for what to play of previous decks for Smallpox and Death in Texas? I mean, for questions like that, what to play, it's very, very difficult. Like, your deck selection in Magic the Gathering is such a, it's always such a personal thing, you know? That's very difficult for me to tell you what you should play, because it's very much up to you, you know? Okay, I can't quite counter that, but Yawgmoth is turned off right here, and then we get to untap. We have 9 points of damage in the air, which is really going to tax their life total here. Especially if we can find a bolt. That's like a bolt. But unfortunately, I think we have to graveyard that just since we can't hold up the charm with it. Okay, so let's go hand iteration, bottom counterspell, XL heat, since we already have a counterspell up this turn. And I want to attack before I heat the Yawgmoth. They're just taking 9. Kind of weird. Do a Harry Potter personality test, yeah. What's the matchup I'm most afraid of with this deck? Hammer's tough. We have a ton of sideboard cards. I don't know. Murktide's definitely the kind of deck where you have like a ton of game against most of the fields. You don't need to like really sweat any individual matchup that much. Elementals is tough for sure. What do you have? Board in versus elementals. So you're gonna want to bring in the dress downs, and then you also need to like suss out what variant of elementals are they. Like, how many planeswalkers do you think they're playing? Are they playing the Thunderkid Awakener variant? Are they playing like the more canister type version? And that's gonna really impact, like, do you bring in do you leave in like a lot of counter spells? Do you leave in Do you take out more of your counter spells? It's just all a mess, really. It's kind of hard to say. Interested to see the full set of Flusters. Yeah, it's just like I'm so sick of. I feel like I always lose to these Rhino and like Living Index because I don't draw Flusterstorm in time. It's just I just have been like getting crushed by Living End and Rhinos with these kind of decks lately, and so let's just like play the 4th Flusterstorm, you know. Will donation decks come back in a post-trophy race world? I don't know what a post-trophy race world is gonna look like. Am I just gonna keep this going? Am I gonna want to take a break? It's gonna really be a time of change in the stream. So, to be determined. Chat, to be determined. Why no Blood Moon over Alpine? If you play 4 Archmage's Charms, which I really think you do, Charm is just great, and Charm is really like your best way to beat the Hammer Time matchup, I think. If you play 4 Charms, I don't think you can play Blood Moon in the sideboard. Blood Moon is also like the main reason to play Blood Moon is they sacked Hierarch. What are they getting with this? They can only get a 3. They can only get a 3. It's yeah. I like 1 Test of Talents or 4 Flusterstorm. 2 mana is it's just so much. You play the Extraction. What's that card called? Invasive Surgery. They're getting Izzet? Well, I don't care about Izzet. They're getting Grist. Oh, they are getting Grist. And I let it resolve. Totally forgot they can get Grist. Yeah, I should have countered it. They're still like likely fine. No, not Surgical Extraction. Cranial Invasive Surgery. Invasive Surgery, it's a 1 mana counter target sorcery. If you have Delirium, you can, you know, Surgical Extraction all of the sorceries. No, I think I'm just drawing 2. Yeah, they're still in really bad shape. I should have 1 more Steam Vents in the deck. I think I can go to 9. I just want to Thought Scour and see if I hit Bolt here. Still Thought Scour myself because I'm going to cast Murktide. And I want to fetch first because if I mill over the Steam Vents, then it's just a disaster. Winner, winner. All right, get your points in. Get your points in. I lost 3 times yesterday playing for 5-0 for Trophy 28. Oh, it's still being all weird. Oh, man. I guess I'm just going to do it on Chrome because for whatever reason in Streamlabs, it just, the window's all messed up. Oh, man. Start prediction. Trophy 29. Yes, no. You got 2 minutes, chat. I got Trophy 28 with this deck. I got it on Saturday. Then I just like kind of relaxed yesterday, playing MTGO in the background while grinding a bunch of stuff. And I lost 3 times yesterday playing for 5-0. And I need to get out of this slump, man. My record for converting on the 5-0 match has been brutal. I PM'd you. Don't PM me the deck. Just post it in chat. Just post it in chat. I can't see my DMs from my stream view, so I never ever see any DMs on stream view, and I also never check my Twitch DMs in general. Oh. I have to take a mulligan. We're on the draw against a non-Luris deck. All right, keep. Put back Ragavan. Could have maybe put back Murktide. Just kept the second Ragavan. Just Rhinos. I feel like Rhinos is pretty favored. Yeah, we did already do a prediction. Obviously, if we win the die roll here, we're better shape. But sometimes you hit them with the Monke, huh? How good is Void Mirror as a sideboard card? That's pretty good. Maybe not so much in this stack. Oh, we can cast that. Just pitch the Heat. The right side, I think this might win in more difficult matchups. I've lost like my last 1,000 times playing against it. Maybe I'm just like getting unlucky or something. But I keep losing to it. It's like I'm winning all my matches and I lose to Rhinos very consistently. Maybe it's just super swingy, but I feel like these kind of games just happen all the time. I counterspell, they force. Okay, that was maybe me dooming too much. I shouldn't have done it when Doom was in the chat. Maybe it's just super swingy, where like just one player can like very easily outdraw the other. But it's drawing cryptic commands. It's interesting. Just depends on my sideboard. I mean, I've got 4 Flusterstorms on my sideboard because I'm sick of losing to them. But like we lost earlier in a league to Rhinos. That was our first league of the day. We've also like the last time we played this deck on stream. Rhinos stopped our 5-0 run too. I think might have been the time before. But you know, this game we just have an unchecked Ragavan. You know, and it's, you know, just going fine. What is this? Seems like a difficult to cast spell. Oh, Murktide. Counterspell Travel plus Ragavan seems good. Well, if you're on the draw, like we were this game, like they just like if you're on the play and you have Ragavan plus a bunch of counterspells, you usually do win. Okay, is that the 4th Footfalls? It's the 3rd one. I don't know. I'm probably just dooming a bit too much. I probably should cast my own Murktide here because we know they have Cryptic in their hand. Oh, wow. Awkward. I was assuming I'd hit a land. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Can you suspend that one? No, you can't. Did find a land. So now we can cast Murktide and Spell Pierce the Cryptic if we want to. I can also, well, okay. No decisions ever. Oh, so they're gonna petty theft. Oh, they can't cast Cryptic. They can't cast Cryptic. They don't have triple blue. Good deck. Yeah. I just assumed. Should have looked a little closer, huh? Please tell you Pierce is big. Yeah, Pierce is big good. It's a flex spot though. In my opinion, I view the 4th copy of Unholy Heat, and the Spell Pierce as this deck's 2 flex spots, which you can play these cards. You can play like Snapcaster, or Force of Negation, Serum Visions, but blah, don't play Serum. All right, we're 1 game 1. You know, usually when you get 1 game 1, you're like in pretty good shape in this matchup because you have 1,000 sideboard cards. They could have Force Blue card. That's their last 2 cards. Didn't seem that likely. Why do you think Bird and Tron are so dominant when they were virtually dead? First 2 months of MH2. Well, it's kind of just part of the metagame cycling, right? Where Elementals is on the rise to beat the Ragavan Darcy decks, and then Tron's on the rise to beat those decks, and Burn just comes up and kind of has a reasonable matchup against everything. It's also true that nobody knows. Just like, you know, people just kind of play whatever, as, you know, to some extent. Or it's also like, you know, people were just like, I don't know. It's a complicated issue. But it's also definitely true that if like people just see that one deck is doing well at tournaments, then all of a sudden they'll start playing it when a deck starts to do well in tournaments because it is well positioned, right? So it's like Tron has been well positioned for a while, right? It really has been a good deck to play for like 2-3 weeks, and it's begun to do well at tournaments because it's well positioned, but like. At those first tournaments it did well, it wasn't a very popular deck still. it was still a deck that people were kind of sleeping on. Probably can't mulligan this. Put almost to 6. It was still a deck that people were sleeping on, right? So it's like, when you ask why people don't play things, it's because a big portion of the player base just like kind of follows the tournament trends, and they're like a week behind everybody else. And that's something that's really important to understand, I think, is that a big portion of the player base is always just going to be a little bit behind. My thoughts with the blue-white Chalice control list? I think they're good. I think they've been good for a while, too. You will live. Alright, there's no way Ragavan's living. So deck popularity is kind of reactionary. Yeah, it is, absolutely. That's definitely what I'm saying. Flusterstorm. Gemstone Caverns on top. I think I'm just casting the Monke. Give myself the out to draw Flusterstorm, and you know I don't have a ton of mana to keep sinking into this. Let's go! Yes! I have no idea what brand my espresso machine is. I probably should, but I just don't. Yes! Let's freaking go. And it all comes crumbling down. It all comes crumbling down. It all comes crumbling down. I just have to heat this, I think. Yeah, my hubris. I need to draw a land pretty badly. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely drawing what I want to. I also need them cast Violent Outburst, please. Not this Brazen Borrower, which they're definitely casting instead. We've got some time. We're in fine shape. We're in fine shape. But it's got, you know, only 3 cards in their hands. I mean, these cards are definitely getting worse. They suspend the Footfalls. Alright, let's try to find a land here. Been bricking a lot on my iterations lately. Urkin, 3 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Ask and you shall receive. This is game 1 or 2. This is game 2. We're up a game. We did win game 1. Now with that land, we can't Flusterstorm a Rhinos that they cascade into. They don't seem like they have any Rhinos. If I draw a fetch land, I can Darcy with Delirium. I can play Channeler and Explosives, try to find Delirium. I think I should Iteration here. Just try to find a land. Fetch land specifically, which we did. So play this. Fetch an island. I guess I could just play 2 Channelers actually. Let's do that. Because we have the Explosives to clean up our Rhinos. If they have exactly Violent Outburst, they should be good, but I feel like if they had it, they would have played it already. And my life total is just like a bit too low, I think, to wait too long. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely how you lose a lot of the games. You just have like a million Flusterstorms and Explosives, and you just lose to these. Yeah, Footfalls on 2. Now we're doing pretty good. So I have 3 instants for sorceries in my yard. So Murktide Regent will be a 6/6. Do you want to E there to get double Surveil off? That might have been good, yeah. I kind of like waiting one turn. You need to draw 2. Should they not attack? Yeah, they definitely should not have attacked there. 100%. Seems like they're very flooded. They might just kind of be off of it. So their rhinos are coming down next turn. They have a Murktide Regent on top. So why don't we go play explosives on 0. Try to win this fight over Murktide Regent. And then untap and play my own Regent. I really hope that they counter back after they cast Murktide. I mean, they might just not cast Murktide, right? Because I've got all this open mana. That might be fine. Alright, so let's see what they're drawing. Their hand is Murktide Regent Mystery card. They're drawing a Mystical Dispute. Which, they go Murktide Regent. We Counterspell. They dispute, and then Flusterstorm doesn't counter their dispute. I mean, their Murktide is only a 4/4 though. They can't have Veil of Summer. You can pay for dispute. I can only pay for. I know I can pay for dispute. I'm just like debating casting Murktide Regent or not here. I think I'm gonna cast Iteration. Just try to find untapped lands. Did not. So let's get the dispute off the top of their library. I think their hand is land Murktide Regent. Land is very good. So if they cast the Murktide Regent, I probably need to let it resolve, actually. I guess I'm not dead to rhinos. But it's their Murktide's only a 4/4. My Murktide's a lot bigger than theirs. I could lose like Jace. Yeah, I feel like I can just let this resolve. Why not jam Murktide less knowing, then they can jam, then win the race. Well, I was thinking that if I found an untapped land off Iteration, then I am in a really good spot to cast the spell next turn. Could have been better. I might be playing a bit too cautiously. In here I can just cast Ragavan with Counterspell Storm up. Just like so hard for my opponent to get any leverage here if I do that. I think both like casting the Murktide probably wins, but I think this is fine too. After testing my Silverized Monke in the DRC burn list, I think it's very close. Yes, I think Monkey's like a tiny bit better than Goblin Guide, but it's like I could be convinced otherwise. Definitely play Channeler though. Channeler is the best card in the deck. You're up a game, you can afford to be a little aggressive. Don't ever think like that. Don't ever think you're up a game, you can afford to play loose. That is how you lose percentage points. I'm up a game, I can just afford to like play a little loose. Your what's your record in the game should never impact your decisions. So I think we double Flusterstorm this. 3-cut, yeah. Unless the timer is involved. Yeah, of course. But that's never involved for me. Trophy 29. We're finally, after like a really, really hard week, only one trophy behind Prince. I am counting my chickens a little before they hatch, but I don't think we can really lose here. They've got Murktide, we Counterspell. Put them to 1 with Counterspell up. Again, counting them a little before they hatch. Sometimes you want to know how many chickens you got. Alright, Spike got a trophy. Let's go. Let's go. I've been really liking Murktide lately. The blue-red Murktide deck. Just with the uptick in Tron, it makes a lot of sense to me.